Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camp Patton Family Compound. It is time for Friday Night in the Homestead, and tonight's topic is too much or too many, if you prefer, electronics on farm equipment. And how's everybody doing out there? And yeah, let's see what we got here. We have, it looks like the only one we have commenting is Aiden here. We got 4 other people in here, according to my counter here. So, hi guys. If you are just lurking, please, don't forget to hit a thumbs up and at least check in and say lurking. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Aiden here. It is a slow night. The wind is blowing something fierce here. I was on Facebook earlier with Courtney, and they're getting blown all the heck back there. High winds, cold temps. A friend of mine over on the coast of Oregon, Mark Phillips, he was posting the same thing. They got power outages going on over there. This morning on Space Weather News, formerly known as Suspicious Observers, Ben Davis was talking about the windstorms that hit through Colorado and stuff. And out there at Observer Ranch, they even had some damage to some of the buildings, roof damages from the high winds they had there. I know yesterday we had, it was saying we were having, 52 mile an hour winds here, gusts. It felt like a lot more. I mean, the house was shaking. It's like, holy crap. But everything here, knock on wood, survived through it so far. And so that's what's going on here with the weather here. I think a lot of other people are just, hunkering down. Wendy at Hardknack Farms in Oklahoma was saying they were getting high winds as well. So yeah, I think everybody's just going, kind of going, oh, it's crappy. They're pulling the blankets up. I'm going to bed early tonight. But we're going to go ahead and get with this, and people can watch it on the replay. All right, one of the things that precipitated this is I follow several farm channels, both on YouTube and on Facebook. Laura Farms, always get the name wrong. Paige's Boots and Biscuits farm, Mary's Farm, and a couple others. And they're always showing how much crap they have in their tractors nowadays. And it's cool. We go out there, we set this up, and the one is one of the ones shows pictures. She's got her I think about an 8-year-old daughter riding next to her. She's got a smaller one down on the floor, playing on a little blanket, playing there, and she just kind of push the button, and the tractor goes. And gets out the other end, does the turn, comes back. It's all GPS guided and stuff. Laura Farms was talking about theirs, and when they had a problem on theirs, it was like, it won't work. It's going to be 3 weeks before a dealer tech can get out there, because only dealer techs can work on certain equipment. So they pulled the old beater out of the barn, her dad's old tractor, fired it up, and she thought, yeah, I got to keep my eye on where I'm going. I can't just plug it in and just go along for the ride. I got to, sight in where I'm traveling. And so that's been, that's one of the things that got me to do this. And some of the problems I've had with my own little tractor. But let me get the pictures up here and get to the next one here. I mean, this doesn't look like much until you realize this is all these fuses up here. Each one of those is circuit running something on a tractor. And you got all these relays and all this other stuff. You can't tell what color the tractor is by all that green paint. I mean, what brand it is. And if you have some wires get broken, you used to be able to fix stuff. and put it together. Now you got to call up a tech, and it's like, crap, wiring harnesses on those are beginning to look like the cars in the 70s. It's like, what the crap? And you just got things to bring up for every piece of it. Okay, our wheels are going to go. One of the screen controls the wheels going down there, turn around, coming back. This one controls how high or low the attachment is, how much seed it's putting out, or how close to the ground it's cutting, or this, that, and the other. This one, we have the bug spray or weed spray on there. It goes along and it's sensing stuff, and it shows you what it's doing as far as giving little squirts of herbicide on the weeds, so it doesn't hit the actual plants. It goes along, and you control that, and it's just like, I'm looking at this. There are 6 monitors there to monitor. It's like, my great-grandfather had 60 mules pulling his tractor, his combine out there. Yeah, he had 8 people up there working on it. It was a big, huge monster one. One of the first ones in Riverside, California. And they didn't need all this electronics. It's like, okay, guys, coming to a lull over, you guys, raise it up, pay attention, and they just went along. But yeah, it's there's a lot to me. There's it's all it's nice, but there's a really big problem I'm going to talk about here in a couple of minutes. Besides that, and of course, this is the picture I got behind me here. They got manuals on how to run. You know what to do. There's a manual down there on the bag on the floor there, and it's saying you look at all the buttons just on the armrest here and the joystick and stuff. It's like, dang. And then, of course, they got over here on the side, they got a keypad over there controlling that one. And it's just, a lot of stuff. Here's another green one, but this green one, I'm looking at it. I don't see, this is all mechanical fuel injection. No electronic fuel pump, no electronic, hardly any crap on it. The fuel pump is this thing on the side here, the little black thing down near the bottom here, the silver thing coming out on the top of the brass on top. And that's the fuel pump. That's the primer on it. Oh, this is your alternator. You got your main wire to the battery. You got 2 other control wires. Wow. Not a whole lot there, is there? These guys didn't need any electronics at all. I think that's the last. I got a couple. All right, this is a 1940 9N. I got a 39 9N. And so you got the starter, the power lead coming from the starter button. The other side there goes to the battery cable, which is batteries right up here above it. Has a hot wire coming off to the for the ignition and stuff to go to the distributor, which is on the other side. We'll see that in a second. And it's got 4 spark plugs and an alternator. There's the distributor right here up in front of the alternator, the little black cap there. Carburetor. Fuel pump is let me go back. There's your fuel pump. Oh, wait a minute, it's not a fuel pump, it's gravity feed. The only thing you got to worry about is spark plugs burning out, or the points and condenser needing to be replaced. And if anybody's ever worked on cars back in the 50s and early and 60s, you know how to change out those points and condensers, and how to set the gap and everything else. And I think that's the last one on that. I mean, it's just so different. And one of the things that bothers me, I almost put this on my on Gray Man Prepping, but is the way one little electronic thing can screw up the tractor. My Coyote had a battery cable problem, and all the electronics were going on off on off on off. So I found there was a little crack in the little brass loop they had up for it, and so it wasn't making constant contact. Changed, cut that off, put a real battery terminal on there, and no problems at all since then. But it's you get some of these relays. You get some of these relays and things and stuff. It's like something goes out, and you practically need an electronics degree to figure out what's wrong, if you can even work on it. There's so many brands now that are saying, no, you can only have our people work on it because it's proprietary, equipment, which we don't let anybody else have but our techs to work on it. And if you work on it yourself, you void the warranty. So, yeah, it's one of those things that's really kind of sucky. One of the other things that has me worried about farm equipment stuff, and I'm thinking about getting another old gasoline tractor as well, a little bit bigger one than my 9N, is that right now, everyone's following what's going on with space weather and the scientists and stuff. Oh yes, the Earth's magnetosphere is degrading, and the poles are moving. They keep moving. They're going to meet over near the Indian Ocean somewhere, and so when the poles are degrading as much as they are degrading, there's more radiation coming in. Part of that is evident in the all the auroras and stuff that are showing up that shouldn't be showing up as far south as they are. But if this keeps going, they're going to have more problems with electronics and stuff. I mean, Ben Davidson was on an Airbus 380A, and the day he was on there, a whole mess of them were having problems because of the electronics with all the plasma circuit stuff coming off the sunspots and everything else, and just the coronal holes rather, and causing problems. And it's getting worse every year. And so if a small farmer, someone would say 20 to 50 acres or so, who's producing stuff, or even if they have 640 acres, which is just 1 square mile, just one little square on the maps you see, and his tractor doesn't work, he's out of business. And that's one of the things I want to get another gas-powered tractor, one a little bit more powerful, so I can pull the big attachments I have around easier and get things done. That if something does happen, I got an old gasoline one with a fuel bowl gravity feed to the carburetor, and the 12 volt starter on it, and I can go. But yeah, one of the problems is these big tractors like this thing here behind me, they have stuff start going away, and they could have a cascade failure on it that it ain't never going to be running within a month because they got to replace so much stuff on it. And I was hoping some more of the farmers would be in here tonight, so we talk about their tractors and the problems they've seen on their tractors. But I know that Curtis, the mayor of the city here, over there, got rid of his old Ford diesel, which was 1972, I think it was, diesel, and got himself some more modern skid steers. But he stopped doing gardening over there, and he's going more for expanding his shop for his auto body restorations, where taking antique cars and stuff and restoring them for people, and putting in a paint shop and stuff over there. But he still has his sawmill, which he's I hear firing up and him cutting wood for people. So he has a great side hustle there as well. But he said his tractor, the auto ride on it went out. So he says it was cost more to fix the auto ride than would be to pick up another old tractor like he had. And he goes, he just wasn't doing any enough agricultural work over there, so he got rid of it. And that's the problem, is some people are just getting rid of stuff when they shouldn't be getting rid of it. If you have a chance to follow Farm All Fanatic, he goes out and gets old stuff, restores it, and uses it on his place, and shows videos of him using the old Internationals and the Farm Alls out there with the bottom plows and the discs and everything, working the soil. He shows you, oh, we've got a wet patch over here. We're going to go around it here. We'll get that in the middle later on in the summer, and it dries out and does stuff. But that's a lot of things that I feel that people need to know about. The old stuff is actually probably better stuff for a lot of small farmers and stuff, where they don't have, I gotta go for 2 miles straight, keep an absolutely straight line, and turn around and come back absolutely straight to get the most out of it. Like I said, the smaller guys that may have a square mile plot, but most likely have 20, 30, 50 acres or something like that, and they're working that. You don't need something with a lot of electronics on it. With my 9N out here, just going across the 5 acres I have here, if I need to have an absolute straight line, I get a couple magnets with little wires on it, put it on the hood, on the center, front and back, to make sure I'm eyeballing it. I picked a fence post down there, and I make sure they both line up on that fence post as I go down. And then I turn around, and when I'm coming back, I pick the next fence post on the other one behind me, and that way I do straight shots all the way across. It's not rocket science. Surveying maybe, but not rocket science. So if you're thinking about getting a tractor, don't fall for, you got to have all the bells and whistles. No, you don't. You need to have something that works all the time and isn't going to crash because the little circuit boards start going, You want something plain and simple as possible for what you need to do. And sometimes the old plain stuff works so much better than new stuff. And since nobody showed up to help me tonight up here, so I think I'm going to wind up cutting this short here, because I invited some people to come up and share stuff about their tractors and stuff. And it's getting close to Christmas, so people are probably getting ready for it. Oh, I do have good news for everybody. A little bit of news about the staff sergeant. Staff sergeant will be here Sunday afternoon. So yeah, she went and ordered a set of cable chains for her for the snow, for her Honda Pilot. She ordered exactly what was listed in the manual. Exactly. It came. She went to test it, to put it on. It's too small. She goes back in on the computer saying, complain about it's too small. She knows that someone else, she didn't go down to the reviews to check the reviews. Someone else had said, it's too small. This size does not fit this vehicle. They put the wrong, Honda put the wrong information in the wrong owner's manual. It was for a smaller Honda, like the Pilot, or one of the smallest, not the Passport, not the Pilot. So anyways, yeah, so she's tomorrow she's got to go to a auto parts store and see if they have the right size, and have them, all right, you put it on, show me how it goes on when she buys it, and make sure they got the right one that fits it according to the actual tire size. Because in the manual it says there's 2 different tire sizes that come on it, but you only need one set of chains. anyways, I'm going to wrap it up here now. Tomorrow for Gray Man Prepping at 2 o'clock Eastern, I'll be live with Shadow Scout Swede. The topic is the hard reality of Tawaki, or the end of the world as we know it. And then at 8 o'clock Eastern, which is 6 Mountain Time, we're still doing the Events Explored, and we're going to be poking fun at several channels and several scientists who are saying, "Oh, Pangea, the Pangea is going to reform, but a little bit differently." And all talking about how the 6,000 year event is going to speed it all up, and the continents are going to go back together in like 6 months' time once it kicks off. So we're going to look at that and poke fun at it, and then we'll also look at, like, okay, if they by some miracle 4 billion to 1 they're right, we're going to explore what happens. All right. So everyone, take care. One of the things I want you to make sure you remind you of, yes, it's December, but still start planning what you're going to do for your garden here in the spring. How much stuff you're going to plant, what plants you're going to use, which companion plants you're going to put with which ones where, so you have a good harvest this summer. All right? Take care, and I will see you around.